It's funny, eh? Last week I said that David Seymour is reaching superhero levels of villain. You know, he is doing and saying things that you think, Batman, The Return Down Under is coming out next year. You're going to be the villain in that. It's actually that level. And much to, I think, my disgust, if I'm blunt with you, he hit out again today on the news of literally hundreds, I think 350 and then 112 from the department, of New Zealanders losing their jobs. Mr. Seymour, our next Deputy Prime Minister, said, good. That was his response. So let's have a look at the story from News Hub tonight.
As well as that, the government is going to slash more than 350 jobs at the Ministry for Primary Industries and 180 at the Ministry of Health. So the axe is beginning to fall on the public service. In response to the hundreds of people losing their jobs, David Seymour reposted an ACT Party tweet saying, good.
Can we just pause there for a second? I mean, what the actual fuck? When you reach that level of villain, that you make Christopher Luxon look like the empathetic one, you know how far you've gone, Spides.
Yeah, it's gross. It harks back to the "Today's a good day" tweet when Roe versus Wade.
Roe versus Wade, yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think he's trying to outdo. I honestly think he and Winston are having a little battle of the bastards as far as who is the most important in the headlines each fortnight, basically. Like they're having a little, back office whiskey beer. While they're having their back office whiskies, they're having little, game challenges on who can be in the press the most or whatever else, because that's all they're trying to do, I think, is just be the biggest dick.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure who's winning yet, to be honest. Maybe we should keep a scorecard on it. I don't know.
Well, they are one-upping themselves. I mean, is this a one-up from the referencing the Holocaust? I mean, the Holocaust is pretty damn bad, but I mean, we're going to watch the story now, and I know sometimes I spoil them by talking about them before we actually watch them, but he gets challenged pretty well by Jenna Lynch. We'll have a look at what they had to say about it, eh?
Political editor Jenna Lynch begins our coverage of a big day for the economy.
This is the front line of the backbone of our economy, the Ministry for Primary Industries. Today, it became the front line of job cuts.
It's really tough. And I really identify and I empathise with those individuals and those families.
Look, I hear you.
I identify.
I'm with you.
Fucking toffer. Yeah.
I'm with you, and we all know that it doesn't feel real, but compared to good, that's a good response. Compared to good. Not a good response by itself, but compared to someone just go, good. You make him look empathetic. That's what I'm saying. And even Nicola Willis looks a bit empathetic, even though she does kind of go, but it's good that the government's getting back on track.
Tub has seen a copy of the email MPI Chief Ray Smith sent to all staff proposing to reduce staff numbers by 9%. That equated to a reduction of 384 positions, 40% of which are already vacant. It said the agency is not proposing reductions to frontline services and statutory roles, that's vets, animal welfare, fishery and food compliance officers or biosecurity at the border.
Critical parts of our economy, and it makes a mockery of this government claiming that they're out there to support farmers, horticulturists.
The agency had grown by more than 1,100 people in 5 years across biosecurity, regional on-ground support along with fisheries, animal welfare, trade and policy. Biosecurity will take the biggest hit with 130 roles to go.
Hundreds of people.
The thing about it is, remember what we've been talking about this week. National, the right, will continually tell us that government is broken. And then they get into power and they put in policies like this that break government. And then they step back and they go, see, we told you it was broken. We've always told you it was broken. And then they try and offer a solution which comes in the form of asset sales, privatisation or PPPs. And it's exactly the path you're seeing right now. Remember, what happens is they completely annihilate the public sector. Labor comes in, or the left comes in, they build up the public sector, and then their argument, remember, at no stage have they put forward a cogent argument to say there are too many, why there are too many. They've just said there are too many, look how many it's increased since we were last in. Yeah, that's because, it's like having a barrel of water and taking it down to 10%, and then Labor comes in and fills it back up to 100%, and then National comes in and goes, well, when we were in, it was only on 10%. We're going to take it back. There's no rationale to say why it's good or bad. They just say numbers, and they break government, Spiderhoof.
Yeah. It's a pretty obvious and clear cycle, but I know that not everyone sees it. So, yeah.
That's why we're here. That's why you're here, to help them see it.
That's right.
All right. We'll keep going and see what Nicola Willis has to say about the job losses.
People are losing their jobs today because of your government's cuts. How does that make you feel?
Well, my heart goes out to anyone who loses their job in any circumstances, but no government can live beyond its means indefinitely.
This is a really important
Newman was hilarious.
Yeah, but this is a really important point. This government is not living beyond its means. This government is making choices, and the choices are austerity in some areas and prosperity in others. This government is not on the bones of its ass. This government is choosing to give $2.9 billion back to landlords at the cost of workers, at the cost of people with disabilities, at the cost of people who are in emergency housing, at the cost of people who are in state housing. Right? So we are not going to accept or believe about government living beyond their means when you're choosing to take $3 billion out and go, here you go, landlords. So if 384 jobs is out of our means, so is the $3 billion. You can't have it both ways. Sorry, Nicola.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're going to get up to Mr. Seymour very shortly.
Public servants were ushered into meetings to learn their fate. David Seymour was dancing on the graves of their livelihoods. Responding to the news on social media, ACT posted, "Good." It was reposted from David Seymour's account.
People are losing their livelihoods, and the first word that you can think of is good.
I'm talking about a story where excessive government waste that's damaged every New Zealander's livelihood over the past 6 years is coming to an end, and that is good.
That's for David Seymour to talk to, but what I can say to you is, today, it is a tough day for people.
Would you walk up to someone who just walked out of the Ministry of Primary Industries today and got told that they lost their job and say good to their face, or do you just bash it out on the internet?
I would say it's good that the economy is rebalancing, but there'd be no need for me to do that. That would be an odd thing to do.
But you did do that. I mean, that's the classic.
It's an odd thing to do, David. Why'd you do it?
That's the classic internet troll who wouldn't say it to your face, but would say it on. It's the cowardly internet troll. I mean, if you wouldn't say it to someone's face, don't send it to them online. That's just cowardice. So if you wouldn't say it to their face, then why are you tweeting it, David Seymour, next Deputy Prime Minister? Ridiculous.
Good for people to lose their jobs.
It is good that our government is ensuring that resources go to the front line.
But the minister in charge of Mega Ministry, MB, hasn't sought any assurances the cuts her agency was today consulting on were not frontline roles.
Have you, as a minister, sought assurances there will be no frontline roles going?
I have left. I trust the MB management and the leadership to actually consult in good faith, and I believe that's what's actually happened.
So you haven't asked for that information?
No, I haven't.
The Health Ministry also called staff in today to discuss job cuts. It told Newshub in a statement the proposed changes could affect just over a quarter of the ministry's positions. That's about 180 jobs.
Our priority as a government is ensuring that new spending is prioritised towards frontline services and towards income relief for hard-working New Zealanders.
Job cuts, the price to pay for tax cuts.
There you go. At least the media is saying
But those
that now.
were hard-working New Zealanders,
Yeah.
Nicola. They're all hard-working New Zealanders that you have. I think the number was 15,000 before Christmas. It must be climbing past that by now. They were all hard-working Kiwis, just trying to get ahead in life, and you didn't give a shit.
And also, the government is yet to describe for us and put conditions around what is considered a frontline job and what is considered a backroom job. So we still don't actually know what that is. They haven't defined it yet. And they're saying, MB can look after that. So what if MB revolts? What if they're going like, no, we're not doing it? Because what you're actually then doing is you're getting the CEOs to do your dirty work as well. That's the other thing that they're getting them to do.
Oh,
and they're being
that's
able to distance
absolutely what
themselves
they've
from it.
done the whole way
Yeah.
through.
Yeah.
Pushed it onto somebody else's shoulders, just like they gave DHB's goals, whatever they call them. It's, so many hours in ED and everything else. I'm just like, so you're doing nothing, government. You're actually just giving them a list of things to do and then making them sort it out. But they've already told you it can't be done. Oh, no, it's just, I'm going to start ranting. I don't want to. I don't want to. Yeah.
I do wonder, and we talked about this last year, I do wonder if some of those CEOs just didn't do what they were being told to do, what would happen. I mean, they'd probably get removed and they'd put someone else in there. But if they're honestly saying we trust these departments to make their decisions, why don't the departments just, okay, well, we'll lose 3%. And they happen to be the ones that the positions aren't currently filled. I said this the other day that I met someone in the weekend from, it wasn't MBIE, it's one of the MSD it was, who said very clearly that he'd been in the job for 5 years, so he's only been in the job under Labor, and that he was told by a whole bunch of people in the office that wait till National gets in, then you'll see what austerity looks like. And since that has happened in their offices, there's cutbacks, there's no more funding here, there's, it's that quick. It's that quick that it's in there and it's going for it. So it's madness.
Yeah.